Hello and greetings. This is iGaming Africa, and today we bring you a webinar titled Build or Buy the $1 million Question for iGaming Operators. My name is Lingi Tao. I will be your moderator for today. And with me, I have a group of expert panelists who are going to answer the $1 million question because I'm very, very curious. I hope you are. And I would like them to introduce themselves, what they do, and why they are here with us today. I will start with you, Dos. Okay. I will start with you, Mikhail, and then I will pass it over to Dos, and then Alubani, and then Khan. So take it over. Tell us who you are, Mikhail.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Mikhail Semenov. I'm the head of acquisition in BWinners. So BWinners is an iGaming operator in 4 regions now in Africa. So we are also going to launch the affiliate program this month. So please feel free to check it out. Yeah, and moreover, I have also great experience working with operators when I was working with B2B affiliate program platform. So yeah, I'm glad to be here and looking forward to discuss important things. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you. We can't wait to hear from you. Dos, over to you.
Hi guys, my name is Dos Kariuki, and I'm the director of Michezobet. And my core skills are finance and operations.
Wow,
I'm excited.
we're happy to have you here. We
Yeah.
can't wait to hear from you. Aluwani, tell us who you are.
Nice to meet you all, guys. Aluwani, based in Johannesburg, currently business development manager for SoftSwiss. I've been in the industry for 8+ years now, dealing with B2B providers in terms of platforms, games, and various other third-party content. So it's been an interesting journey for me. Looking forward today to learning, and also, giving out some of the information that I've gained throughout the years as well.
Yes, we're very eager to hear that. Over a decade. Oh, you're heading to over a decade of experience.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Khan, over to you. I love your background. Are you in Africa?
I was just gonna say actually, so you stole the show from me, but hi everybody, thanks Lynn. This is a beautiful panel. Happy
Yeah.
to see our panelists. Aluwani, my friend, good to see you. Thanks for the opportunity, Jeremiah and iGaming Africa. So just very briefly, my name is Kaan Bulakiri. I'm heading the gaming domain at Kingmakers. We are a very Africa-focused B2C operator, currently under 2 brands in 2 countries, with BetKing in Nigeria, as everybody knows, and SuperSport Bet in South Africa. Very different landscapes, very different dynamics, let's say. Currently, I'm based in Malta. That's why I'm a little bit casual. It's quite hot in here, so
Yes.
my outfit is a little bit Maltese summer. But I am in the Africa room, like Lynn said. So
Yeah.
there you go in the background, especially for this webinar. So very, very happy to be here.
All right, all right. So this is so exciting. Our audience, as you have had, this is our panelists today. If you have a question, please feel free to drop it on the comments. And also we'll give you a chance to talk with the speakers as well. But before that, I want us to acknowledge very special people that we love acknowledging here at iGaming Africa. These are the people who have made this call possible. And I want to take it back to the iGaming team to tell us who are our sponsors, what do they do, and just tell us who they are. We want to engage with them as well. So, iGame team, over to you. And there you go. Those are our special partners who have made this happen. And just let me give them a shout out again. I hope you have seen them. And also, I'm seeing a lot of comments coming in. But so I want to acknowledge Soft Swiss. We have someone from Soft Swiss here. I want to acknowledge Raven Track, Digitain, Every Day, Every Matrix, One Expert, and Kiron Interactive. Thank you, and thank you. And my dear panelists, let's dive into the matter. All right. I'm very curious. This is $1 million question for you, all of you. I want to hear your expressions on this. Why is the build versus buy decision critical for the success of iGaming business? And what key challenges does a company solve by choosing between developing a custom platform or buying a ready-made solution? And I just want anyone from you, or I will start with you, Mikhail. What is your expression of this? And anyone can chime in as well. Mikhail, take it over.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this decision affects profitability and the whole business concept. So it's very important to choose what you're going to do with your brand, how you're going to build it, and so on. So yeah, I guess this aspect of business is crucial for the start, and there might be different key challenges when you choose a platform. So I guess we are going to discuss it today here. So yeah, I guess this is the thing.
All right, all right. I love that you shared that. Owning your brand yourself. Alwani, do you have something to add on that? What are the key challenges you have faced over the years you've had experience with this? And what is your view of build or buy?
Thank you. Thank you. It affects the whole entire business in terms of, the foundation basically of the business. It needs to stand on a solid foundation with a clear direction. So it does determine, the direction of the operations. How it'll be going. Will they be, as an operator, be focusing as being a tech builder or an operator? So it gives them those two decisions to make. And then both of those decisions will really, determine the success or the failure of the operator based on whichever market they are in. And yeah, it is quite a a huge decision when you are a startup, especially not having that much experience, not understanding the long term opportunities and threats and the challenges in between as well, which we will dive in as we go into that. So for me, the main point is it's a serious foundational issue or opportunity to look at. So it can be either an issue or an opportunity. That's how I would see it on my side.
Yeah, I love your take. It can be both ways depending on how you see it. Dos, I see you nodding to that. What do you want to add to that?
I agree with him
Yeah.
because with a good foundation, it's nice to know where the business is going to go, and also will you migrate people once you build a platform to a new platform? Then that kind of destabilizes the company and also profitability at the end of the day.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
true. When it comes to the migration, I think adaptability is one of the hardest thing. Yeah, please continue adding it. What were you saying? Did you have something else to add?
No, no.
All right, all right, all right. Can I want to hear your expressions because I'm also coming to you on the second question, but just answer this for the meantime as I come to you on the second question.
Sure, thanks, and thanks for the additions from others. I think I want to contribute from a different perspective, and probably it's because of our company culture and our Kingmakers priority. It's the customer first. Okay, so I'm going to start not with the business value, because for us and for me also personally, I've come from the B2B side as well as a game provider and worked at platforms, so seen a very many different platforms, aggregators. As an operator, as a B2C organization, you have to start with your players. You have to start with your markets and what the demands and the specific dynamics of those players and markets are, and then take that decision, and your business value will follow. Okay, it's going to be your almost like a byproduct or your next level impact. So I mean, we will go deeper into the specifics of the $1 million question, which I think we will keep it a little bit. It depends kind of atmosphere, because if any one of us knew the answer, that question we could be millionaires, right? But
Yeah.
jokes aside, at Kingmakers, and like I said, my personal experience is player and customer first, and based on that, you have to take your decisions on which platforms to use, which integrations, what are the certain qualities that you look at a platform decision. So that will be a nice bridge to our next questions, I guess. Back to you.
Yes, that is a very nice bridge. And we have someone from LinkedIn called Nelson. He says, "Great to have someone from Kingsmakers. I have a question." He will send his question. So be alert on that. And our dear audience, please feel free to let your questions coming in. We're gonna tackle them after the session. So just to bridge what you have said, Kan. So, how should operators approach evaluate buying or build decision, and what criteria and factors do you consider essentially when making such a decision? And also, Dos, you can chime in on this, but I want to hear from you, Tan.
Sure, thanks. I'm humbled to put some ideas here, and also
Yeah.
happy to hear from DOS and others as well. Again, representing a B2C operation in Africa, focusing on Nigeria and South Africa. As I said, I'm going to start with player first, customer first approach, and how that ties back into your decisions, not only as a business from a commercial and business point of view, but also a product/technology point of view. So understanding your player needs and the market dynamics will give you a deeper understanding of what you're searching for in a platform. If you're searching for a platform, in the scenario of a buy, right? So that should, I mean, in both decisions, the main criteria, I believe, for me are flexibility should be definitely number one, and this ties then into your customers' needs, and then you should be able to differentiate yourself for your player base, also from your competition, right? That's your market dynamic point of view, and then obviously considering buy or build. I believe the answer will always be, at least for me, it depends, because it does depend on quite some various factors. There is the technical expertise. There is basically the state of your own business and operations at the current stage, right? It all depends on, and I'm not going to obviously decide on this, let's say, at the current state, but speaking of the industry, looking at the industry of my experience, and I've come from different industries where this $1 million question is prominent as well.
Yeah.
Look into your own capabilities, your own state, your business and risk averseness, okay, and then technological maturity, whether or not you're ready internally. Even if it's a build or buy decision, your technological readiness is key. And then you will need to have not only a short to mid-term approach, but definitely a long-term approach in terms of keeping the platform, whether you're building it yourself or buying it from outside, or you're outsourcing it, in terms of pieces of the business operations, your core values tied into your players' values. Are you willing to develop internally and outsource externally? So it can even be buy and build. Okay.
Yes.
So,
And Khan, whatever you said is like a framework. I could put it in a framework, and it was very, very insightful. Flexibility, doing your SWOT analysis, looking at
yes.
your technical team. Do you have the capacity to do that? And of course, those I want to hear from you, because I felt like you have something to add. What Khan just said. What do you have to add?
Yeah, buy or build depends on different strategies for different companies.
Yeah.
Um, to add on what you said, in terms of IP ownership, especially in terms of databases, IP, whether you want to own your IP, that's also like a huge critical factor, because today data.
All right. All right. As he continues to express, Alwani or Mikhail, do you want to add something to that as he comes back? Alwani or Mikhail? Anyone who wants to add to it?
I guess I can add some things
Yes.
that yeah, it's always important to also pay attention to the knowledge of iGaming business. So when you uh, are going to choose between the platform and the custom software, so yeah, you always need to know that if you're going to build a custom platform, you have to have the experience with ready-made solutions. So I would recommend to check out at least for 2 brands, different platform providers, and see how it works for you, and then build your perfect platform. But in terms of like costs and money, again, it's quite expensive. So I would say that to build a custom platform, you need at least $1 million. So, and if you have like under 1 million, so I would say that you can go with the ready-made
All
solution.
right. Thank you for that $1 million contribution, Mikhail. Dos, you're back. You were saying something and we want to hear more of you. What were you saying?
I was saying that building your own platform also depends on how you want to position yourself in the market, whether it's a very competitive market, a buy will work well or a build will work well, depending on the market that you're entering into. So it really matters, especially in terms of customer centric business. It will really help if the competition in the market, uh, that's also a determining factor why to build or buy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I agree. I agree. And I want to bring this to you, Aluwani and Khan. How does choosing to build a custom platform versus buying a really made one impact long-term growth and scalability in the iGaming business? So I will start with you, Aluwani, and come back to you, Khan and Mikhail as well. So Aluwani, if you're ready, chime in on that. All right, Khan, you can go.
Yeah, maybe just yeah. So Alwan seems a little challenged with the network, maybe, but yeah. So we started with customer first approach, and those also was great to hear your view. You're supportive of the customer centric approach, and then came to the cost side of it, which was obviously quite obvious from Mika. I'm not sure about that the $1 million, but it probably depends, right? Which development, which country, what kind of functionalities. I want to add to that a very key factor here, which is time to market. Okay, it's a little bit off the back of what Dos was saying, in which markets you're operating and what are the conditions and the landscape of that market. Obviously, not even mentioning compliance, regulatory requirements, and so on, which would make it extra complex. It's your time to market and your strategical appetite. That's why it might even be buy and build, okay, at different stages of your business life cycle. So I wanted to emphasize on the time to market approach as well. So in a scenario, for example, you are really seeing an opportunity or a gap in a market, in a certain market, maybe an untapped potential. You want to enter very fast and utilize the first mover advantage. You might lean more towards to a buy situation or an external platform, right? But if you are already established, you might want to, develop your own internal platforms also with an outlook of the future, right? To be more future proof, right? To be more flexible, changing dynamics, changing regulatory, especially in all our markets. I used to operate in Europe. I used to be in B2B in many different jurisdictions. We have seen that some of the platforms were very good. Some of the platforms were challenged in terms of
Yeah.
keeping up with those requirements as well. So I wanted to emphasize on those two areas.
Yes, and you mentioned time to market. I really want to go, you mentioned even an example, but I want to go deeper in the context of the African market. What is the best time to market? How do you determine?
This is addressed to Aluwani. He's back.
Yeah, yeah. As we wait for Alwani, you can follow up with that can, and then I'll come back to you, Alwani.
I think Aluwani is here. I'll leave it to my friend here.
Alwani,
I'm here,
yes,
guys. Sorry,
okay.
sorry, guys. I'm back. That's one of the
You're
other
back.
challenges we face in Africa
Yeah,
in terms of network.
totally
And then,
understandable. You're welcome
and then,
back.
and then getting onto the platform side of things, even when you're building your platform, you need to take advantage or understand, the issues that, the local players will have, like with the network issues. So even when you're building your platform, you need to understand these dynamics as well, where you'll be building. Some operators have two websites. They have like the one that is rich and the one that is user friendly on these low end mobile devices. So yeah, that's just one of the things I can add on to that. So yeah, it really does, give a conundrum of a question, and I believe, as I did mention, I will try my best to outline in terms of that. So for me, I'll try and go into advantages and disadvantages as much as I can. So, like for example, with the building, you have full, control over the features, roadmap, integrations, etc. Customizations, you have that full control as well because you're building it. It's your own. You own it, and then it gives you a competitive edge as well, which is something that you can use as a marketing tool. You can develop the front end as quickly and make it as beautiful as Kingmaker's front end, that sort of thing. And then, of course, in-house build disadvantages from my end is the high upfront costs and ongoing development that is going to be continuous until I don't know when, as long as you're operating. Those are going to be, the ongoing overheads that need to be accounted for and
Yeah.
continuously. And then longer time to launch. Of course, it takes longer because development doesn't happen, overnight, over a month, or so it can take years. So that time already gives you a disadvantage where the other players are already operating, acquiring and retaining players and making profits while you're still developing. So those are the certain, disadvantages that I can mention for now. And then of course you need to have a solid team. So now you need to manage a whole big, structure, that has all these different professionals in there that are going to be developing that whole,
Yes.
solution. So that's another one, which is definitely a disadvantage from my point of view. And then in terms of turnkey
Yes.
solution, which you buy, basically from my end, the advantages are quite straightforward. You just get into the market, you can launch within a month, you are there, you are live, everything is set up. And then, of course, your initial overheads are lower as well because you're going to be paying like a revenue share. Just maybe you may be paying a fee just to set up a few things there
Yes.
and there. And then that's it. Then on the regulatory side of
Yeah.
things as well, you don't need to be certifying your products and so forth because the product is already certified in the market. For example, with SoftSwiss, we are certified in so many markets. I can't even keep count right now, but for now, we'll speak about South Africa, where we also certified. And it takes, it can take a year to maybe 2 years to get your solution certified.
Mm.
So for us, we've done the
Yeah.
legwork. You come in, provide you the solution within a month, you are
Okay.
live. So that's one of the advantages of a turnkey solution. So, and the last one from my end would be stability. You need to partner with a stable solution provider, those customers, and without customers, there's no business. I think that's the closing one for me for now.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you for highlighting ever that. I see, Mikhail. Do you have something to add on the advantages and disadvantages of turnkey solutions? Mention something on compliance, speed, cost. Do you have something to add on that, or anyone who has something to add? But I want to hear from you, Mikhail.
I agree with guys.
Yeah.
So they're totally right. I would add, because we are speaking about Africa, so I would say that in Africa, it's always important to have localization. So in terms of licenses, languages, also maybe some games and so on, because Africa gives the opportunity for everyone by offering local licenses. It's not always like this for the whole world. In Africa, you can get the license, and it's a big advantage, and it totally affects on your business profitability, your marketing, and your acquisition in in general. So when you choose a platform or when you build your own one, always consider localization as a key factor.
I totally agree with that. And I'm seeing a lot of questions coming in, by the way, and we're going to address them in the next session. So if you're part of the audience, we appreciate your interaction. Keep the questions coming in. We have the best people to answer your questions. Dos, I'm coming to you for this question. And how does choosing technology partners influence the success of an iGaming business in Africa? And what is the value of international expertise compared to local market insights? And anyone can chime in as well. But those I want to hear from you.
Um, Global partnership versus local partnership. I think global partnership is really important because they have proven platforms rather than you building your platform and trying to prove it in the market. So I think a good mix between our international partner and the local partner is very, very important, especially like in terms of products and also in terms of like having a stable platform. Um, for local partnership, I think they an importance like it has been mentioned in terms of localization, in terms of products, in terms of payment integration, in terms of regulatory frameworks. Um, Having a balance of both is, I think, the best mix for a business as compared to when you build the technical aspect of it. You have to you'll spend more in terms of building tech, which hasn't been proven. But as you go on, I think just a perfect mix, especially in Africa, uh, a perfect mix between global and local expertise is really important.
Yes. Okay. Your opinion is a global mix. Does someone has a contradictory view on that or an addition on that? Can I see you have something to add on that? Do you have something to say?
To add, for sure,
Yeah.
definitely not contradictory, just
Uh-huh.
to build upon this because these guys, they're very experienced and spot on. I
Yeah.
want to start with Mikhail, where he stole my current favorite word, localization. I actually came back from delivering a speech on hyper localization. That was more about gaming content. I'm aware that we are focusing on platform approach for this webinar. An idea for iGaming Africa, as I mentioned earlier, would be also buy or build content, right? So maybe that would be a follow-up seminar, webinar I would be happy to be part of. But so taking from localization, all the way to what Dos was mentioning very, very clearly. Again, on the content side of things, I'm gonna use a similar framework. Lynn, like you were saying, I also like to see things in frameworks and almost like a matrices. We have seen a lot of global companies trying to enter B2B side of Africa. We have seen very local companies like African companies being in Africa. We also see somewhere in between in a spectrum, right? So that's a very interesting landscape. Definitely the local understanding is key, and we can't even go with, I know it's been said a million times before, but Africa is a continent, right? All the regions, even within the same country, have different requirements.
Yes.
I'm going to have to refer to gentlemen struggling with the connection, which is the reality, in some of the places in Africa. So your platform should be technologically ready for that in terms of lightweight, fast, and being very efficient in terms of server connections and everything else. Because as operators and as well as B2E providers, you cannot afford yourself, again, to my first point, lose your players, lose the loyalty of your players and the trust of your players, just because you cannot support your technological challenges in Africa,
Yes.
in specific countries. So all spot on. I just wanted to introduce my fourth pillar after customer centric and the other ones I mentioned is the
Mhm.
localization.
Yeah. Okay. We can go on with that, and I just love how we're heading with this. But before that, I want us to take a breather because my panelists needs to take some water so that they can come back to you and answer your million-dollar question. And with that, I want to mention the people who made this happen. iGaming Consult Africa. Thank you so much for making this happen. And we want to find out more about them. And I want to take it back to the iGaming Africa team. Tell us who you are. Tell us why we need to follow you. And it's going to be a very short video. Meanwhile, take a glass of water. Over to you, iGaming Africa. All right. Follow iGamingConsultAfrica.com to learn more. Thank you so much. And we are back, and I'm going to the final questions before I go back to our audience. And I'm bringing this to you, Mikhail. Given the specific characteristics of the African market, like you've mentioned, you're so focused on the African market, that is regulation, infrastructure, limitations, and someone also mentioned connection here. And we have all of us have, as Khan said, we all have different needs, different countries, different needs. We are a continent and a rapid mobile internet. Please take us through that and what that looks like.
Yes, thank you. So I guess everyone who is going to open a brand, a business in Africa that is connected to iGaming should ask some questions to yourself. So, do you have experience in iGaming? Do you know how to do marketing? Do you know the market? So, and what's your budget? And after that, you can build something like some idea in your mind what you're going to do. So, and yeah, as I told you before, so consideration of the budget is also a key factor. If we compare like a custom platform and a ready-made solution, so it's a key factor. And talking about the African market, so yeah, localization is a good thing, and it might be always there because uh, the platform can offer you, for example, English, French languages, but for some regions you might need some local languages like Swahili or Amharic. So yeah, and you need to pay attention on this too. And also games, for example, crash games is a boom there. So yeah, not just like aviator, you also need to consider something else and so on. So yeah, the games can be different for every region in Africa because there are different interests, and like every country is totally different, so you need to pay attention on this. Yeah, and one thing that I didn't mention before, it's payment solutions, because
Mhm.
in Africa almost everything is mobile. So mobile payment solutions are very important, and the local mobile payment solutions is a crucial factor for operators in Africa. And yes, guys mentioned before, so platform also should be mobile friendly because there is mostly mobile traffic. Yeah, and yeah, I guess this is the main things that I can say about the African market. So again, uh, localization in general, but yeah, very
Yes.
important thing.
I,
Yeah.
I really like, Kyle, I really like to get onto your point regarding the budget. I
Mhm.
think the budget is the biggest key factor for any operator. It can be big or small. It can be, it can be whatever. Basically, the budget is like the biggest factor that, as softwares, as myself as well, I've realized that in the past, working with so many different operators from different, markets within Africa, they all understand the budget in a different way. Some of them focus on the operational budget and neglecting certain parts,
Mhm.
of the budget. Because at the end of the day, there's different, dynamics within the operation. For example, here at Software right now, we realize that, and we've developed a budget calculator for online casino operator that's looking to enter the market. So you just go into our website, and then you'll find the online calculator there in terms of operation, in terms of the products that you're going to be using, in terms of how you're going to be generating the revenue and the end results after calculating everything. So you have a better idea to say for the next
Mhm.
12 months or the next 5 years, or the South operation is going to be looking. And then it helps operators make more informed and better decisions based on that. And that this has been developed by an experienced, provider like Software's 15 years in the market, myself 8 years plus in the market. So you can understand combining this experience. Also, Mikhail
Yes.
here, including that as part of his discussion, really does show that it's really a point to look at as well. So operators out there looking into the market, looking into Africa, they need to understand that part as well. Which could be different in Africa. In fact, you could be pushing a product in or your platform in Africa and not making money, whereby maybe in the UK within 6 months you are more
Mhm.
profitable, something like that. The other dynamics involved in between.
Yes, yes. Thank you for adding that, Aluwarni. And I have so many comments out here, and I think our audience agree with what you were saying, and they're still curious to find out more. So I'm gonna read some few comments, and this is on LinkedIn here. We have Gamble who is saying great. He loves the discussion, and then we have someone called Mosas. I think this is where iGaming Consult come in. iGaming Africa Consult comes in. Moses asks, as someone who's just graduated and is eager to get into the industry, I'm curious how iGaming Africa usually work with fresh graduates. With kind of contributions do you look for when bringing someone new on board? Maybe I'm just gonna take one of you to maybe guide this young person. How did you begin your career? And maybe you can just give them something, help them. Who's gonna help Moses? Dos, are you gonna chime in on that?
Um, I think something that we are really blessed in Kenya is the human resource,
Yeah.
and especially the technical side of it. Um, there are many ways to get into the industry. So I think IT is one of the things that they should consider, which I think is a growing need in the gaming industry, especially like in terms of building and in terms of maintaining platforms.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you for mentioning that. And iGaming Africa is gonna also just add something to add. And I had someone here called Afolabi. I think he agrees with what you had all said. Your budget, market positioning, and technical expertise are key factors in determining the best option for your operator to choose. And we couldn't agree more. And then we have Job from YouTube. He's saying, interesting topic. Yes, it is a very interesting topic. My question is, why is it that most profitable operators have inbuilt platforms? Is it because of flexibility in localization or flexibility in products and placement? Someone had mentioned localization, and Alwani had mentioned on flexibility, but someone can take that question in. Who wants to go on that?
I'll give it a heads up, guys.
Yeah.
So what I've seen in the market, with the other big players that I've seen in the market. They also started using third parties. Once they started to grow, they understood that they cannot scale, based on having that third party reliance on a third party provider. So they started developing their own solutions from scratch during that process of the growth. And then from there, they just continued on the same path because they understood, what the players want, what the market wants, and they already had a good positioning of themselves in the market. So that's how they all started to develop. I can give you an example. I think if Khan does understand the history of Kingmakers, they also used to have like a third party back in the day, but things changed as they started to grow. I think you can add on to that one, Khan.
Yes, can you chime in on that?
Sure. Yes, like Aliwani says, and actually there was a nice comment in the chat from my friend Aliwani, and she really explains it clearly. I think pretty much recapping all what we said. I wanted to add something to what Mikhail said earlier about multiple languages. On top of that, multiple currency support is very key. It might sound too obvious, but you would be surprised how much of a challenge that is, right? In both scenarios, buy or build. So, as I said, for us, customer first, customer first, customer first, and customers are different in different African countries, and their needs will be different, like Aliwani was saying as well. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to add as well. Because we have covered most of the ground.
Yes.
Instead of repeating ourselves, I wanted to add the
I would like
multi-currency
I would
part.
like to chip in on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's about IP ownership and protection, intellectual property ownership and protection is a huge deal. So as business, as you scale up, you learn to build your own platform just to own the IP side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for adding that. So I hope you're taking notes, our dear audience, and thank you for the questions. I want to go to the next. I think it's a comment or a question, but it's Kumar that is on LinkedIn. He says, "Everyone, hi, and on what criteria do you usually select your platform provider? I am planning to purchase my own platform, but when I speak with a lot of providers, they all seem to pitch the same. Is there any specific features that I need to look over before moving further?" And this is where I say to you, Kumar, there's iGaming Africa Consult, and then there's our panelist here. So you're answered for today. But anyone who wants to tackle his question, please bring it on.
I'll start again. Kumar, nice question there. I believe because the market is so flooded at the moment with so many different providers, they all seem the same. But if you look at, for example, SoftSwiss right now, they're doing things quite different. We in newly regulated markets in Africa, actually in the most regulated markets in Africa as a platform provider. So that already shows you if the provider is more regulated in more regulated markets. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I put it right there, but the more the platform provider is in, regulated markets, the better for you as well, because they are fully trustworthy, they know what they're doing, and they are there on the ground. Because you find in certain instances we need to have a local license in that specific market in order for us to, get certified or regulated and so forth. For example, right now in South Africa, we do also have a team on the ground. And then I'm also based in South Africa, and we are having a full manufacturer's license for the South African market, for example, and then various other markets as well. So
Yeah.
that is the key thing. You'll have many different providers, but if you're looking to get into regulated markets, the key thing is the regulatory side of things. I would tell that to Kumar. And then, of course, expertise. We are 15 years in the market. That already shows you that we know what we're doing. We've partnered with the biggest in the market right now, from the US up to Africa. So that on its own really does give you, a signal to say, look, I think I'd rather go with the guys that are big than going with the guys that are still learning, still trying to get the B2B side. It's quite competitive as much as it is competitive on the B2C side. So that's where I think things look the same, but in all
Yeah.
honesty, they're not. So
Okay.
that's my first simple advice to Kumar.
Okay, Kumar, you can as well connect with Alwani on LinkedIn. And I want to go to the next question, and this is Ezra. Ezra from LinkedIn says, cost and time to market is key consideration. Building a platform from scratch is a huge financial and time commitment. You'll need the time of the developers, designers, specialists, and all that you mentioned as a specialist. This route often involves high upfront cost and ongoing expenses by maintenance, by updates, buying on the shelf solution like a white label platform is significantly faster and cheaper to launch. These platforms are ready to go so free with the pre-integrated games, payment systems, and licenses. And the trade-offs is that you'll pay a license fee and likely a percentage of the revenue of your provider. Ezra, I just think you summarized what our dear panelists said, and thank you for adding that. We have Gamble Aware from Nigeria. I'm not sure. How does the cost benefit analysis differ between building and buying a gaming platform? I think this is something you can just touch briefly because I think we've mentioned that. Who wanna chime on this, Mika or anyone?
Yeah, I guess we have mentioned this before already. Yeah, so again, it depends on your budget, about your experience. So of course, building your own one is much more expensive. So for me, it starts from 1 million because we have the topic with $1 million questions. So I would say that yeah, it starts with 1 million. But I would add also one more thing also to the previous comment that they also don't need to forget about acquisition and marketing, because if we are talking about big markets like Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa, so it's getting more and more competitive. And even if you're building a brand by your own or with a platform, you need to do acquisition and marketing, and it costs much more than even a platform. So always don't forget about the acquisition
Mm,
expenses, because it might cost you the same or more
mm,
as a platform
mm.
cost.
Thank you. Thank you, Gamble. I hope you've taken note of that. Next question from Ezra. He says customization, control, compliance, and regulation. A few other considerations. That is just an addition. We have Nelson from LinkedIn, and he says, what factors influence kingmakers' choice of brand name when entering new markets for their sports betting and digital entertainment platform? The second question, considering your values or Crown's emphasis, putting the customer first, what factors influences Kingmaker's approach to creating a customer-friendly platform when entering new markets? And do you achieve this by emulating successful existing brands or by adopting a completely different strategy? Obviously, this goes to you, Ken.
Yeah, this one is pretty specific. Thanks, Nelson, and he seems to be following our organization also quite well. I think most of the ground we have covered already, and it's funny because his second part kind of answers the first part. And I think if there is one takeaway that our panelists, iGaming Africa, and all our followers will have from me is the customer first approach, because this might seem like a business decision. It is very much understanding the customers, and then you can take your short-term and long-term approach on that as well. So definitely differentiation we discussed in some of the points that Nelson is raising. The strategical alignment of your company with your markets. The last part I wanted to highlight is maybe something we didn't touch upon yet as a panelist, is the risk assessment, right? So where do the risks lay? And I'm not talking about the initial investments and the resources and knowledge and all these things we covered. So how about mid to long term risks, right? With like we sketched this global players, you have very local players in terms of B2B, you have somewhere in between. That's something I wanted to highlight or actually raise as a new question for us. Maybe Dos would share his experience, but those are my points for Nelson.
Okay, Nelson, there you go. And before I bring you on board, Dos, we're going to have that as a closing remark. But I just want to handle one more question because our time is really moving fast. And we have Olawami from Nigeria, if I'm not wrong, that is on LinkedIn. Determining whether to build or buy is a strategic decision that must be thought through before execution, especially when entering a new market, expanding product offerings. Both have its merits and trade-off depending on the size, budget, goals, and market plans of the operators. Thank you for that contribution. It shows how much you're engaged with this conversation, and I love what I'm hearing from our audience. I do really love it. And I just want to maybe before we take our closing remarks, is there anyone who has something to add regarding these questions or anything? And then we can do closing remarks, each and every one of us, following up with what Kai just mentioned, and we'll start with you, Dos, perhaps. Maybe you have something to add. Dos?
I think the panelist has a very rich experience, and it has been eye-opening even me as a panelist being here. Thank you, guys. And as a closing remark, thank you to iGaming Africa for always offering opportunities for people to learn and also give their opinions. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you. Thank you for your time as well. Mikhail, tell us your closing remarks.
Yeah, as I said before, so think about localization, think about the budget, about your experience, about your idea of the business, and about what market you're going to join, because every African market is totally different from each other. So yeah, and also since I'm the head of acquisition, so don't forget about acquisition and marketing, because this is the second important question after you build your platform.
All right, thank you. Acquisitions and marketing. Aluwarni, what is your takeaway?
Hi guys. So my final one is whether you're building or you're buying. At Softsource, we got you covered based on the modules that we have. They work across both as a turnkey or as single modules that can be integrated into third parties as well. So that really shows how flexible we are and we understand how the market is moving. So reach out to Aluwani on LinkedIn, Telegram, wherever I'm available, and let's discuss.
All right, reach out to Aluwami and make sure you connect with him. I'm sure you've seen the insights that he has. And this applies to all panelists. I'm sure you're watching us wherever you're watching us from. Please connect with this gentleman. Khan, what is your takeaway?
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Last but not least, hopefully, really enjoyed this discussion. For me, the takeaway is how much we as panelists kind of resonated with the audience, because
Yes.
most of the comments that I've seen here are either re-emphasizing or actually trying to answer the same questions that we tried here. There's been quite some deep experience from different angles, I would say, of all four of us, five of us, including Lynn. It was a very pleasant moderation as well. Thanks, Lynn, and again, iGaming Africa, Jeremiah, for the good opportunity. I want to close with maybe a follow-up idea on gaming content, as this is more of another expertise for most of us. So it's probably, again, I see my friend Olavunmi's closing remark. Probably it's never buy or build. It can also be buy and build. And the $1 million answer is it depends on all the factors.
All right, so there you go with your answer. The $1 million question has been answered and it's on live on LinkedIn. You can always connect with this gentleman. Thank you so much, our dear audience. I can see, thank you for the insights. Yes, you're welcome. And I want to inform you of something that is happening on the May 2026, that is 4th to 6th May 2026. And before that, I want to thank you, iGaming Africa Consult, for making this happen. All right. Please join the Telegram group for iGaming Africa for you to be in tune and to know what is happening and for you to even connect with such people, amazing gentlemen like this one. So if you want to find out what is going to happen next, connect with iGaming Africa on Telegram. And I want to give a special shout out to iGaming Africa Consult. And let me just mention the good news of what is happening in May 2026. And I hope you have your calendar there. Mark your date, 4th to 6th May 2026. We have the iGaming Africa Summit here in Nairobi, Kenya. You have heard so many things about Nairobi and Africa, and if you haven't explored this part of the continent, this is your time for you. So get your ticket for iGaming Africa 2026 Summit, and tell your friends, tell your companies, bring what you do. And if you're just a fresh graduate, I think that summit is the best for you to get started with your career. Or if you're a fan of Khan, DOS, or all these amazing gentlemen, get your ticket for the iGaming Africa Summit May 2026. And we have a short video to play for you. Over to you, iGaming Africa. Show us what you have for us in 2026.
The inaugural iGaming Africa Summit is poised to make history in Nairobi, Kenya, as the largest and most influential gaming industry gathering of ever hosted on the African continent. Taking place at the expansive Sarit Expo Center, this groundbreaking event will bring together gaming professionals from over 100 countries, offering a truly global platform for networking, innovation, and strategic dialogue. With over 3,500 delegates, 100 plus speakers, 500 plus operators, 100 plus exhibitors and sponsors anticipated, the iGaming Africa Summit will serve as a pivotal convergence point for industry leaders and innovators.
All right, there you go. Get your ticket today. Am I looking forward to seeing you, gentlemen, at the summit, iGaming Africa Summit 2026? Am I looking forward to see you?
Of course.
All right. All
Sure.
right. All right.
We'll be We'll be
All right.
in Nairobi.
You good then? Okay, okay. Khan, you're coming all the way from Malta, right?
I will try.
We'll be here
I will
in
try.
Nairobi.
Let's speak about it.
Mikhail. Mikhail, you'll
Yeah, I
be
will
here,
be.
all right? All right. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much. I also want to mention the people who made this happen, our very special sponsors. This is Soft Swiss, sorry.
Yes.
Raventrack, yes, Soft Swiss. Come on, Soft Swiss. We have Raventrack, we have Digitain, we have Every Matrix, we have One Expert, we have Kiron Interactive. Please connect with these platforms. Look at what they're doing. I'm sure you're gonna find something of interest to you there. And I think we could call it a day, gentlemen. We did a very fantastic day, a
Thank you,
fantastic
Lynn.
job.
Thank you.
Did we answer? Yes, we answered the $1 million question, and I'm looking forward to have you back again. And follow iGaming Africa Telegram, connect with this gentleman, buy your ticket for the iGaming Summit 2026. Over to you, iGaming team. I was your host, Linky Tao.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you.
A fantastic one. I think so.
Thank you.